Hello everyone, and welcome to another Attack on Titan manga read along. This will be episode 105 to 107, depending on how long the chapters are. But I really need to read these 3 chapters tonight if I want to keep on schedule, so that I can finish with the last 3 chapters on the 2nd of March, so that I can be caught up by the time Attack on Titan begins again, the last season part 1 of, no, the last season part 3.1. The first part of part 3 of the final season. Something like that. It's kind of there are other series that have similar parts and naming, and like kind of it feels like this is the end, no, this is the end, no, but I can't remember what other series. But I know that Attack on Titan is not the only show that has done this, but it doesn't really matter to me. Okay, so wait, where am I at? Here, 105 to 107. Then on Saturday, we're gonna read 108 to 110 at the end of the stream. And yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine with the sponsored stream. It should be fine. Here I am reading, and luckily, I forgot what I wanted to say. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. Let's read. Shout out to everyone who would want to be here live, but I'm not live, so I don't know why I said that. I just want to shout out to the people, like, you know how I usually do when I read the names in the live chat? Like, hey, you, and I couldn't do it. So I was just like, shout out to those of you who would have been here live. I don't know who you were, but yes. Okay, for real, let's start. The first chapter that we're reading tonight is called Assassin's Bullet. And, yes, I know what is coming, but we'll see how the manga handled it. Although, to be fair, I can't precisely remember for every detail how it happened in the anime, but I'm sure the anime's adaptation has been pretty faithful. Besides, a few things that was changed around, what was that, around season 2? And also, just sometimes the tone of something, it hits harder in manga format. But the same can count in other ways, the anime hits harder as well. So it's like, both have their side, the benefits and their drawbacks. But okay, let's see how this chapter hits. Assassin's Bullet. So, whoosh and grab. I think that is Mikasa and why do I want to... Mikasa and Ere. Armin reaches out a hand to them. Eren looks right up at him like, no, nothing, just... Not like just like it's a straight out stare. It's like no emotion, just I know what I did. I did what I had to do. In his mind. Mikasa looks like she's still not processed what just happened, and Armin looks like, I don't know what to say to you. But he takes his hand and he pulls him up. He pulls him up. The focus on the hand, how Armin is pulling him up. And then he's looking down and then looking up at him. But how amazing Attack on Titan is, I would feel like all of that has a deep meaning. It was done on purpose this way. I can't believe how filthy you are. That's Levi who said that. Like you fell in a pile of shit, Eren. Captain. He deserved that. He definitely deserved that. Him and his little pedo mustache. I don't know why, but that little whisper of a mustache, I hate that. Even in real life, I know a person that can't really grow a mustache. It's not Hanko, I swear to God. He doesn't even try and grow a mustache. But at least his comes out, like, when it does grow a little, it comes out like I don't know. But then when it comes out like whispery, like, that's what it looks like to me. And I just want to slap the mustache off his face. But maybe Levi's kick did that. Okay, Mikasa was shocked at first, but then she knows. She knows. This really brings me back, Eren. You're as easy to kick as ever. We're restraining you first. We can talk after that. That's fine with me. But nothing I wrote in my letter was wrong. Was that not enough to earn your understanding? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're asking people to understand why you want to murder the whole world? Why you... no. You ask too much, my friend. That face, just like every rotting piece of shit I saw in the underground. I never thought I'd see you like this. Someone who's given up on life, I guess. It's so unfair that someone who's given up on life and who has like, I don't know how many, like 1-2 more years to live, that you made this kind of decision and you forced it on all these people who didn't want it. You forced this guilt on them. Like, I don't think you realize what you're making them carry. What kind of burden it's like. I'm trying to think of even a fraction of what it would be like. Like, let's say, if I needed a kidney and my father went out there to shoot an innocent child, but he found the parents, they were in jail, so, and the kid was like an orphan, so probably gonna turn out, not the best kind of kid anyway. So he thought, my daughter, and then he took the kidney and he gave me the kidney, and then he told me about it, or I found out about it in a letter, and I couldn't stop him because I was in the hospital bed. And even though I tried, by the time I got to him, he had already taken the kidney, and now, like, or even like I was in a coma, and then, but I needed a kidney still for some reason, and then I didn't even know. But like they knew, but they couldn't get to him in time. They couldn't stop him. You see what I'm trying to say? Basically, it's not fair of my dad to make that choice and then force me to live with the guilt. But this is way, way, way worse. I mean, you can't really even say that, because once an innocent, like, 2 innocent people dying is worse than 1 innocent person dying. No, see, once 1 innocent person has to die for something, it's like, that should be the end of it. Yes, 2 feels worse because it's a bigger number. 100 feels worse. 100,000 feels worse. But at the end of the day, the goal should be no innocent people should die. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't right for my dad to kill an innocent. I don't even want to say that in the same sentence. No one, my dad has never done that for me. I have my own kidneys. I'm just trying to explain, like, you can't force that guilt on someone. Okay, let's move on. I never thought I'd see you like that. It all went the way you wanted to. And then rumble, chaos. Hurry up and get in. They don't have any weapons that can shoot down the airship. You go too, Jean. I'll take the rear. I'm counting on you, Commander Lobov. I already told you, I'm just a recruit. I don't need the garrison now, or those overpaid geezers in command. Oh. Whoosh. Jean, grab on. Who's here? We're still waiting on Squad Lima in the front. We have 6 deaths confirmed. I see. Damn it. Compare that to the damage we did to them. Yeah. 6 people is nothing compared to the thousands of innocent and guilty people. But to him, everyone's guilty. But even the 6 people, his own people that died, it's nothing in comparison That's why he shoots people in the face that don't agree with him, because, it's his way or the highway. You're a necessary sacrifice. No hesitation. That is just dangerous. No matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It's dangerous, and those kind of people should have no power. People who think that way is dangerous, but, if they have no power, they should just live their little sad lives in their little fucking hellhole of a brain. But you give them like a sliver of power, and what's just kind of dangerous but not actively harmful becomes suddenly... It's a huge victory! The new Eldian Empire's first battle has been a major victory! Rejoice! That's how we'll pay tribute to our 6 fallen heroes. Who says that? Certainly not Flush. Our first battle. I wonder how many more there's going to be. How many more we'll need to kill. See, that is at the very least, it shows signs of not a psychopath. Like, I get it. Everyone needs to kind of detach from a situation like this. But you're detaching so far that you're celebrating in the situation. Like, does it... I don't know. I get it, but I don't get it. Like, if it was just the enemy out there, but in their minds it was just the enemy out there. There were no innocent children, but there were, and they were killed. Can you not take a moment to, like, fathom that? Nope. But at least we see some sanity. I wonder how many more there's going to be. How many more we'll need to kill. Well, at least we survived another one. Sorry to everyone else, but you guys really are special to me. That hurts, stupid. Don't hug people when you've got all that iron on. What's that, John? You know what's stupid? Someone who tries to trim a beard they've just started growing. Hey, he has more of a beard than someone. Hey, that's right. You can't eat the beard no matter how long it gets. What? Speaking of, are we still not eating? Can't you at least wait until we get to the island? What a useless commanding officer. Gabi, wait! Stop this! I said stop! Hey! She just lost friends and like people that she knew. Gate guard guy. He was, even I think... I don't know, he could have been an okay guy. He was just a gate guard, you know what I mean? But what if he did what Gross did? But I don't know. Anyway, but her friends died and she's sad. Our enemies are flying off. There's no point running after them. You must realize that. Oh my God. That is such a horrifying visual for them to show. Oh my God. Zofia, half her body was crushed by flying debris. She was talking just next to me. And Udo, he was trying to save her, but he was trampled by people trying to get away. Again and again, they stomped on him until his head cracked open. The 2 gate guards yelled at me because I tried to go to the plaza. They were trying so hard to stop me, an Eldian. They were saying it'd be dangerous to go. And then they were shot and killed by that woman on the roof. Because I'm an Eldian born in this internment zone, people would spit at the sight of me walking around town. I had a lot of awful experiences here, but that's exactly why I tried so hard. I wanted to prove to the world that Eldians were good. I was able to make it this far because I believed that eventually the day would come where I wouldn't need this armband. But now it's all been wiped out. That's really sad. Not to get too personal, but I feel like I see people every day on the internet and stuff, like apologizing for being this or being that. And they could spend the rest of their lives at other people who are the same. Like, because, oh, my ancestors did these things. Everyone's ancestors did bad thing. If I spend the rest of my life trying to grovel and like, oh yes, I have to live in the internment zone to make up for what my ancestor did. I have to give you all my money and fight your wars because I feel so bad for what my ancestors did to you. If I had to live the rest of my life like that and my children live the rest of their lives like that, that would not appease them. I have seen it. It doesn't appease. Nothing is good enough. It only gives them this sense of, no, I'm not even going to get into that stuff. But what's sad is, like, I understand her feeling. If you take on the guilt for these things because it's horrible things that happen, if you take on the guilt and you want to make it right, and then you do work so hard at it for, you're a kid and you do the wrong things, but you think you're doing the right things, like fighting in the war for them, which you shouldn't be doing. But then, like, even when she did, which I obviously don't agree with, when she did she fainted, like, oh, she's hurt, and then she hurt them, which is obviously not a good thing to do. It was wrong. But she's a kid, like, she thought, how to say, this is a war, and I need to save those people back there. Isn't that just what... I know, I get it. That's what people think Erin's doing. Oh, I have to save my friends. But she's, what, 10? And she's gonna learn. That's the thing. I feel sad for her, but what she did there was wrong, and she's gonna learn. We know that she's gonna learn. Partly thanks to this little boy, because he can fucking see past his nose and understand the... And at least she has very little power. Like I said before, when someone has little power, even if they think dangerous things, like, oh, it's okay to do something like that, where they're fighting with the other side, and then she pretended like she was hurt, that's wrong. But in the larger scheme of things, she doesn't have much power, so, how to say, it will only result in more casualties in those little wars. But that war is over now. Now there's the whole world at stake, and Erin just... So all she can think about is everything I worked so hard for taken away from me. But the parallel with Erin is striking, right? It's not just like there are parallels with Bertolt. There's also parallels with Gabi. The writer is so good, and it makes you feel like, I understand, but it was wrong. But at least I know from watching the anime that she learns. That's the thing. I don't think that her desire to change things was misplaced. I just think it's sad that how they were forced to make right. By living in the internment zone and fighting their wars. That's not right. But her heart is in the right place with, showing that... Okay. Too much emotion. This internment zone, whatever you want to say about it, it's still my home. The people I love live here. If someone tramples over it, I'm not forgiving them. So how dare you tell me not to run? Zeke was killed in front of our eyes. But you still can't do anything. You still don't know why any of this happened to us. Why did that have to happen to innocent people? Why did so many have to be eaten alive? I don't understand. The same questions that Eren was asking back then. Well done, Isayama. Well done. It's because they were devastated too. Our enemies were attacked by Marleyan warriors. Huge numbers of them were killed. Were they attacked by Marleyan warriors, or were they attacked by Titans, though? Of course, the Titans were forced to be turned into Titans by Marleyan warriors. I was just kidding. That was Gross inflicted and, Marleyan inflicted. But if you want to keep going back like that, okay, so who ate many Eldians inside the walls? And this is just a thought experiment. I don't stand by anything I'm saying. If you want to keep doing this, who ate the Eldians inside the walls? It was Titans. Titans are also Eldians, so Eldians hurt Eldians. But of course we don't blame the Eldians because it's the Marleyans. But the Marleyans only fear the Titans because of what the Titans did before. So it's like, okay, but the Titans only did that because of the king, and the king only did that because of the king before him, and like you can keep going back and back and back and back. And like you can even blame the 145th king who just up and left and made up that whole little plan. Like, he could have made a better plan. Like, if you could make them love the Tiber family, you could have thought like a little bit further than that. Like, clearly if the Tiber family was a faction that was against what everyone before the 145th did, then there were more people who were against it. And then you just separate them by, we think what the first king did was right. We think we should stop that bullshit. Send them away. Why did you have to up and leave with everyone? Take their memories away. Oh, it was such a bad plan. It was quick. It was quick. Sure, you have one lone hero, I guess, but you could still have one lone hero and his army that fought back the side that wanted to still eat you. You couldn't have come up with it, but okay. The king wanted to punish them all, or at least as many as possible, I guess. Our enemies were attacked by Marleyan warriors. Huge numbers of them were killed, and this must be revenge. Did you... But if you're reasoning like that, Falco, if you're seeing this as their revenge, then the Marleyans... You're saying the Marleyans did that, but the Marleyans did it for their revenge. So it's not really a reason. But okay, I guess we'll just go back that far. What the Marleyans did to the Titans, that's how far the Marleyans did to the Eldians. We don't go further than that, because it's like, in my country as well, we only go back that far. Before that, forget amnesia. No, I don't see it. I didn't see it. Oh, did you see it yourself? Well, neither did I. And anyway, they're island devils, threats to world peace, right? Didn't you learn that? They're savages. It's normal to kill them. It always has been. They're not like us. Why? But I mean, for kids, when kids are learning in school, you don't learn to think how or why in school. Or let's rather say, you don't learn to think why in school. You just learn like a parrot. So that's why she doesn't know. Why she hasn't even learned to ask why. Yes, every now and then you get an exceptional kid that develops critical thinking skills a little early. Reiner, I'm the same as you. Over the sea, inside the walls, we are all the same. Squad Lima? Alright, that makes everyone. Let the control room know. Wait, I do understand what he's saying in a larger sense for all the same. But I was just thinking about how some people go through horrifying experiences and they don't turn into genociding, depressed. emo boys. Not everyone is the same. But I understand we all want to protect the ones we love. Let the control room know. Ascend and withdraw. Like, even if you can understand why a father or a mother would want to kill someone to save their own child, just because you can understand something doesn't make it right. And just because one person thinks, yes, I have to do this because my child, even if you can understand how they might feel because, oh, they want to save the one they love, that doesn't mean everyone would think in the same way. Not everyone would think, genocide the whole world, that will solve the problem. Not everyone would, come on, not everyone's the same. But I get it, everyone's the same. Everyone wants to protect the people that they love. Okay. Let the control room know. Ascend and withdraw. Roger. And then he sees a child and he hesitates. And this time it's not because she's pretending to be hurt. Just because he underestimated her. Or he didn't see the gun. It's sad. So she shoots him right through the head and he falls. It hit. It's still connected. Gabi, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you're not going in, are you? I'll kill all of those island devils. You're just going to get yourself killed, stupid. It's this trigger. I just need to pull hard on it and... Tell Mom and Dad and Reiner. Tell everyone I fought to the end. This girl, she's about to sacrifice her own life. That's kind of like, I know many people don't like her. And she's made some bad choices, obviously. Because she was raised like shit. But I couldn't do what she does. At least I don't feel like I could now. Tell Mom and Dad and Reiner. Tell everyone I fought to the end. Even if we don't win now, you'll all carry my spirit forward, right? That sounds like... I don't know. In this case, I would say that sounds like brainwashed thinking, propaganda thinking. But on the other hand, I feel like in a real war, if you're fighting for the people that you love, it's not wrong to think that way, because it's true. Like, even if you die, like, the next people do fight for you. Anyway, Falco, Gabi, brother, what are you two doing? Bye, Falco. You were a good guy. You are going to rescue Gabi from the dark future we face. And then he grabs onto her. Oof, and they zoom up. Falco! Why? Because I'm the heir to the armored titan. We did it. What a victory. I just heard something. Hey, quiet down. Why isn't Lobov back yet? She rolls in. He should have come up by now. And then she shoots. I think the people that hate Gabi for this just hate her because they love Sasha. Like they didn't want their favorite girl to die. But in actual fact, I don't think if anyone really thinks about it, they can't be mad about this. Although I know it's also like if your enemy is retreating, you're also not allowed to shoot them like this, I think. But I mean, when you attack civilians, I feel like if you attack civilians and then retreat and then get killed while retreating, I think you attacking the civilians kind of cancels that out, doesn't it? Like you don't get to run away. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Okay, so Sasha was shot. Full body dead picture. And then he wants to shoot her, and Falco. Whoa. Whoa, what? It looks like something hit his head. And then they all rush. Sasha! Hey, Sasha, stay with us. Come on. Oh, who says... Oh, that's Connie. You're so loud. So, is our food ready yet? Get a tourniquet. Tourniquet? Tourniquet. Cover the wound, hurry. Sasha, just hold on until we get to the island. Meat. I love that her last word is meat. In the anime, I think this was worse, or I remember this being worse, because I remember feeling they were focusing on saving Sasha, and even though they needed like 1 or 2 people to restrain the kids, they were like kicking them and stuff. So it felt to me like they were more focused on, hurting children who did murder their friend, but they're more focused on hurting the children than just making sure their friend hopefully will survive this. Like I said, I know the kids need to be restrained, but if I remember correctly in the anime, there was like a bunch of them and just a couple of people trying to... I know that not everyone can crowd around Sasha, but like to at least just stand still and wait and check what's happening. Is my friend okay? But no, she's already gone. These 2 got up here using Lobov's vertical maneuvering equipment. I'll toss them out. No objections, right? Is throwing some kids out of an airship going to stop all this bloodshed? I thought I was going to ask, is throwing some kids out of an airship what we do now? But no, that will not stop the bloodshed. So the airship flies away, and we're here with Peak and Magus. What happened to Brown and Grice? Well, they suddenly ran out, and they haven't come back yet. Peak. Commander, I remember now. The Marleyan soldier who led the warrior unit and trapped me and Galliard in that hole. I saw that soldier 3 years ago, in an inspection of the first survey fleet to go to Paradis after Reiner and the other warriors pulled out. The missing survey ship? Yes, it was that goatee. It looked so unnatural. I like your chin hairs. Hey, how long are you going to keep that thing on? What's the matter? Everyone else likes it. Are they still screaming in there? Gabi, stop it. Don't touch me, you devils. We haven't lost yet. What are you going to do to her, John? John? We're going to carry on Zeke's will. We true Eldians are going to curse you into our graves, into your graves. And once you kill me, tell that to the ringleader behind all of this. No need. I'll take you to him. You can say all that to his face. I forgot. I completely forgot. They were working together. How did I forget that? All I remembered was I remembered Zeke and Levi fought. I didn't remember Zeke died. I just thought, this is some ploy. He's not really dead. And then I remembered, that's what I remembered. And then I remembered, eventually, Eren and Zeke talk and they meet the father and blah, blah, blah. I forgot what happened. See, this is why I'm reading it. When you watch something the first time and it's just, there's so much going on, it's like, half the information goes away over your head. I only remember like main story stuff and main character stuff. I don't give a fuck about them. Like, I don't need space in my brain to save monkey memories. How did you know it was that Marleyan soldier? Because I had a personal interest in her. She's one of Zeke's followers. Oh my god, Eren looks like I don't know, like Schmiegel, like he's starting to turn into Schmiegel. This is what you remember, the guy that was before Schmiegel. He looked like a relatively normal guy, and then we saw him as Schmiegel, and we're like, how did you go from that to that? This is the missing link. First, his hair grew out, and he looked like. And then he started getting malnourished and his hair started falling out and he went bald and got more skinny. That's what he looks like. She was one of Zeke's followers. So what does she, as in the peak, know about Zeke's followers? Who are Zeke's followers to her? To her, Peak, and the Marleyan, blah, blah, blah. Gabi, Falco, why are you here? Why? What about you, sir? You're still alive? But how could you have been captured by these devils? Who were these brats? They killed Lobov and used his equipment to board the ship. And then this girl shot Sasha. I don't think there's any hope for her. And they're already restrained, so of course the concerned people go out to their friend. And this is one of the famous moments I remember. You take care of the rest on Jankopon. Understood. Hanj! Sorry, I'm chewing gum. If it falls out of my mouth at some point in the video, sorry in advance. So, would you say that everything went to plan, Zeke Jaeger? For the most part, but there were a number of miscalculations. Who are these kids? Miscalculations. Yelena, what happened to you locking down the jaw and the cart? Some of our soldiers are dead because of you. Sorry, I did manage to trap those two down in that hole, but then I let them get away. That was my fault. That must have been why the beast threw more pellets at us than initially planned. I'd call that a hell of an improv act. Wouldn't you agree, Beardy? Don't glare at me like that, Levi. What are you going to do if I piss myself? I don't know, what are you going to do, sit in your piss? Anyway, you're a pretty good actor yourself, considering how much you want to actually kill me. I'm the type of person who likes to save the best part of my meals for last, because that way I can really savor the taste. We killed the leaders of the Marleyan army and destroyed its primary naval fleets and ports. We surely bought ourselves some time. Here's the question, and you can explain to me, because I don't think I'm... But what would have happened if... And innocent people would have still died, totally. But why exactly did Armin have to turn into the giant titan and crush everything? Because I guess, okay, so he could have everything. How to say this? Eren could have changed into a titan, eaten the Warhammer. Nino. Eaten the Warhammer. Yes, innocent people would have died. 100% would have been horrible. But I'm just curious why they went the extra mile with the Colossus. Oh my god. you're gonna be inside for 2 minutes and then you're gonna want to go outside. Okay, so. So, the Colossus. Why did the Colossus have to turn into the Colossus and like kill and like kill he walked over houses with thousands of innocent people. Why doesn't the killing all the politician people and the media and the Marlian top brass, doesn't that send enough of a message? But if you want to send more of a message, turn into the Colossus, sure, but just go like this ooga booga booga and scare the shit out of people. Why do you have to like walk over their homes? I mean, you don't even have, I'm joking, you don't have to go ooga booga, but like just turning into the Titan and screaming, scare the shit out of them. Why do you have to walk over their houses and stuff? Why do you have to kill an extra like 100,000? I feel like everything that happened in the internment zone right there and just turning into a Titan in the middle of the ocean, the airship could still have come and gone with less damage. Like, you wouldn't have lost people. Wait, no, I don't know. The people might still have died because they said something about it happened during the car Titan stuff. But then, like, the arm and stuff, why was he walking over things? Did they need him for something? I don't remember him helping after that. You have to decide where you want to sit. Okay, but anyway, we killed the leaders of the Marlian army and destroyed its primary naval fleets and ports. Oh, he was destroying the fleets and the ports. That's what he was doing. I just literally had to read the second part of that sentence. There's like, I've seen fights in movies and stuff, right? Come sit down, please. I've seen fights happen in movies and stuff, and like sometimes someone's acting the fool and they just need to like, someone just needs to like, and if people fight, okay, they fight, emotions are high, whatever. Sometimes fighting happens even between brothers and sisters. Sometimes you're like, I don't know. I don't have a sibling, but I've heard stories about my mother fighting with her sisters when they were younger, and even brothers, whatever. But with any fight, there's always a line, right, where you're like, this crosses this is like, have you ever seen when two guys fighting in the movie and the one guy's down and pretty much out cold, but the other one jumps on him and it's like he goes blind almost sometimes, but not always, but I've seen, and he keeps punching and other guys have to pull him off because it crosses the line. Like, fighting and punching the guy, if he was acting the fool or whatever, you just mostly shake it off and go on your way. But now you're jumping on him and like you keep it. Like, I feel like this whole planet crossed the line. It was too much. Anyway. You mean before the entire world comes down on Paradis with a coordinated attack? We've risked our lives to get you back every time you've gotten yourself captured, no matter how many of us have to die. You knew that, and you pushed ahead with your plan to make yourself into a hostage. Well, you got what you wanted. You left us with no choice. You put your trust in us, and we've lost our trust in you. But now we have both the founding Titan and a Titan of royal blood. All of your precious sacrifices will bear fruit. Eldia will be free. Will it though? Will it? Yeah, I knew you were going to want to go out. Yeah, just want some love and now you go. But last night she fell asleep like literally like this next to my head, and I was like, oh, it was the cutest thing. But I know she's not. When I'm moving around and talking, she's not gonna want to lie down. So then Connie comes in and says Sasha's dead. Just gone. Forever. Oh, this is where the iconic part comes in. Even me. Because I was just thinking about, because he asked what were her last words, and I read the word again. Meat is what she said. Kaha. So he's half crying, half laughing, I guess. Aaron, Sasha died because you got the Survey Corps involved in this. The sad part is that this was his plan to save the people he loves. And it ended up getting one of them killed. And it will end up killing the rest of them. Whether they get killed while fighting this war that was maybe a couple of years away, which is right now on their doorstep or whatever, he brought them to it. Right to it. And she died. And like I said, the rest of them will die in a similar fashion if they continue down this road. Or, I don't know, I want to say it's cringe, but they'll die on the inside, or they'll be like Reiner. Reiner couldn't carry the guilt of killing, I don't know, 100,000 people inside the walls. Now you think your friends will be able to carry the guilt of killing the whole world? Your brain, a sane human being wouldn't be able to carry that. This is a more sad scene. In the anime, I think this was slightly more confusing. Like it was more ha-ha than and here it's a little more than ah-ha-ha. But once again, my ideal, what I wanted to do was read the chapter, then watch the episode. But, we don't have time. So I at least want to recap the information because clearly I have forgotten very important things. I'm sure you probably wouldn't know what to say to this. Captain, no word from the... Wait, I'm sure you probably wouldn't know what to say to this. Huh? What's that? Who's that? Is that Armin speaking to Annie? Chapter 106, Brave Volunteers. Captain, no word from the advance party in the 2 hours since they landed. I know. Prepare survey units 2 and 3 for landing. This island of devils defeated our warrior unit and now threatens the world. We're letting Marley know what's really going on here, no matter what it takes. But I want you to listen. Oh, I thought it was him. No, it's speaking. Armin, I think. But I want you to listen. It was 3 years ago, a time when we might have been able to change something. You might have been able, yeah. I think people are way too quick to be like, no, they had no choice, no, there was no. But no, they could have changed something. And Aaron's way of doing things could end up in the extinction of the human race. Even on their side. Like, I'm saying, he thinks he'll kill the world, but they killed so many people inside the walls too. He, obviously, we know by now, Aaron only really cared about saving his friends. Like, it doesn't even matter who got killed inside the walls. Flush made sure to kill anyone that didn't immediately side with him. But for Aaron, it was only about saving his friend, really, wasn't it? if I remember correctly. But they killed so many people within the walls. There's not even a guarantee that they could come back from that with such shitty leadership. Like, people don't automatically know how to build a society up out of nothing. Illnesses break out because of blood, and there's no way to clean everything. There's no like systems and stuff in place. So then the Black Plague, and then fucking everyone could die. Everyone could die. Inside the walls, outside the walls, whether it's from the fucking Black Plague or guilt. His plan was not the only way. But okay, 3 years ago, we might have been able to change something. Hold on! A devil! Hello, ladies and gentlemen of Marley. Welcome to the island of Paradis. I'm Hanj. I'm here to receive our distinguished guests who've come here from oh so far across the sea. Your long voyage must have left you tired. Come, why not join us for a cup of tea? If you were wondering about this guest here who arrived just a bit before you, we're already getting along great. Isn't that right, Niccolo? Captain, don't mind me. Just shoot these damn devils. Why would you say that, Niccolo? Niccolo. He's clearly not interested in playing along with your stupid skit. Niccolo. Listen up, you damn devils. Marley isn't interested in hearing from anyone with defiled blood. What makes you think we'd ever sip pig's piss with the tarnished bastards? With you tarnished bastards? Are you sure? Do you really want to insult us like that? Don't tell me you can't see the Titan behind you. Like, it's a good way to go. They show, here is your other person. We kept him safe. Join us for tea. They give him the option. But then they say no. And then they're like, well, you kind of have to. But they gave him the option. At least they're trying to talk things out. I'd love to hear exactly how you plan on getting away from this place. We will not bend to the power of devils. This is all that the Marley has to say to you. Huh? What? What happened? Yelena. What are you doing, Yelena? Put down your weapons. What is this? Do as she says. Oh, yeah. I remember this. Hanj, I'm honored to receive your invitation. Now, how about that tea? I've so wanted to meet you, Aaron. What exactly are they after? That big lady shot her comrades to death. If there were ever an Attack on Titan live action, but not 10 years from now, like next year or something, the blonde lady from Game of Thrones should play her. Helen of Tar. Gwendolyn Christie. She should play. What's her name? Yelena. She would be a perfect Yelena. I hope her daughter. I hope she has a daughter, and that her daughter likes to act, because I want her daughter to be Yelena if they ever do an Attack on Titan live action, which I hope they don't. I hope they don't. Wow, she's really pretty. I feel like they sometimes downplay how pretty she is in roles for some reason. Anyway. She would be a great Yelena. Okay, anyway. Blah, blah, blah. I've so wanted to meet you, Erin. Blah, 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 something. Because they called her a big lady, and then I thought, because she's tall. Gwendolyn Christie is tall, but she's gorgeous. Who knows? Well, we can't trust them, whether they're on our side or not. Wake up, Sasha. But being able to talk to them is an incredible chance to gather intelligence. Incredible chance to gather. I've realized I don't know how to say math. Oh, I can't say it. Math classroom. That's not math and class. But I say class. How do you say which who pronounces it classroom? It's not America, right? And the math, is there one way to pronounce that or more than one way? I know, but that a while back I was thinking like that doesn't sound, it sounds weird to me. Math class. It sounds like you should say math class, but I don't like the word class. Class. Sounds classy. Gather. I don't know. I've learned English from so many different shows with so many different people with so many different accents. I don't even know what the matches up with what. We really got lucky there. It wasn't anything that we did that kept them from landing here. If the Marlians were serious, they would have come in force. We have to do something. Yeah, no, that's a fair question. I'm just putting my face because I know what you end up doing. We have to do something, yeah, but not that. I need the paper because I have like gum. Huh, I see. So this is you shoot people multiple times without reloading. That's standard kit for a Marlian soldier. Each of the army's divisions consists of about 20,000 soldiers. With 50 divisions in total, that comes to about 1 million soldiers. Then add the 3 fleets consisting of 21 battleships to the army's numbers. They've also seen incredible progress with new weapons, including aerial military capabilities. Aerial? Don't flinch. They'll think we're weak. I know that. In other words, mobile weapons that can go beyond seas and walls, allowing the enemy to appear from the sky. Oh, the airships. What? They'll come from the sky? If Marley has all of that power, why has a year passed without them launching a proper attack on us? There are 2 main reasons. The pure titans they unleashed here make landfall difficult even with the latest and greatest weapons. While originally a policy meant to confine the Eldians inside the walls, this now protects the Eldians from an advancing Marlian army, ironically enough. Yeah, how about that? But day is about to break. The titans should be active again soon. So if you're content to sit here drinking tea beyond the walls, that means you've killed all the pure titans on the island. Isn't that right? And what if we did? Would you try to inform Marley? No, it's amazing. I'm in awe. What's the second reason? Because Marley has entered into a state of war with an alliance of several other nations, they've got bigger things to worry about, comma. In other words, because there's so many words. Because Marley has entered into a state of war with an alliance of several other nations. Okay, yes, because the other nations were aligned against Marley. You see, they were infighting. You could have taken advantage of that, but no, you gave them all a reason to just unite, put their differences aside, and focus on you. Focus on you. They've got bigger things to worry about, in other words. Though you should know that this war started in the first place because of you. Ah. Like I said before, I said the war was 5-6 years away, but Aaron brought them right up to it because he was, I remember now, rushed. He was impatient because he only had like, what, 1 or 2 years to live? The Armor Titan, the Beast Titan. You routed the warrior unit, the pride of Marley. The Colossus Titan, the female Titan. You stole some of their key weapons. Marley is a nation with many enemies. Other countries came together in the blink of an eye. So that means your group isn't loyal to Marley. You have a grudge against it. Oh, I didn't read this bottom part. Marley's nation with many enemies. Other countries came together in the blink of an eye, and then the war began. So that means your group isn't loyal to Marley. You infiltrated the army as to act as something like sleeper agents. Am I right? Whoa, I was right? If you're willing to... So Marley hurt their people, and now they infiltrated Marley. Because they believe in Zeke's plan, which is to euthanize the Eldians. No, calling us sleeper agents would be an overstatement. We're conscripts, natives of lands that Marley invaded who were drafted. We were sure we'd never have a chance to oppose them until we met him. A titan known and feared by the world as a devil, but he looked like something else entirely to me. A god. He took us in when we were powerless and showed us hope. We shot our officers under orders from Zeke Yeager. We are the anti-Marleyan volunteers. Volunteers. Our goal is to free Eldian people. But if I remember right, well, I know this. Zeke's plan is to euthanize, essentially. Well, not euthanize, but like sterilize. I'm pretty sure the Nazis also sterilized people. Imagine if you guys know Schindler's List. Imagine if Schindler, instead of saving as many people as he could and like getting them to work in his factory so that he could basically keep them safe. Imagine if instead of he did that, he did that, but also sterilized the people so that their children don't have to suffer. I don't think you can. That's not helping. It's like there are certain things in the world where people like with medicine, you can treat the symptoms, but without also treating the cause, the symptoms won't ever really go away. Did that button just go red for no reason? So you only end up hurting someone by covering up the symptoms and not solving the root cause, the root problem. And that's what they're gonna do. Because I explained it in the last video. Even if all the Eldians are wiped out, that's why that whole little allegory of Pixis and Aaron on the walls. The people were inside the walls were united against the Titans, but that didn't mean everyone inside the walls were happy and getting along. There will always be the next Eldians. You can't just keep killing people off because, well, everyone hates you, so I guess it's better for you to just die. Okay, then humanity fucking is humanity and acts like humanity and makes the next group of people, even if it's 10 years later or 100 years later, there will be the next Eldians. And then what are you going to do? Oh, well, 100 years ago, we just killed those people because it was less effort to kill them than it would be to, change the whole system and make sure that the world helps people like those, or, they get seen as equals, or we stop perpetuating this fucked up hate that started from back then. So yeah, that would have been really difficult, so complicated. So we just ended up euthanizing them, sterilized them all. They died out happily. We could do that to you. That's the precedent we want to set. I don't know, if you feel like that's the precedent you want to set, that's the world you want to live in, and you hope that you don't end up as one of the groups that is the next Eldians, cool. You can, if you want to believe that, if you want to live in that world. I don't want to live in a world like that. I don't want to live in a society that makes decisions like that. I think it's wrong. And I think that if something's wrong, that obviously means it's immoral, right? And I think that if we're immoral, and one bad thing leads to another bad thing, leads to another bad thing, and bad things rot everything. Like, as a society, I think if we keep dabbling in bad and bad and bad things, if we just, we do this little bad thing and that little bad thing, we're just killing a very few people to save everyone else. And we're not even killing them, we're euthanizing them, we're just sterilizing them so they can't have kids that will suffer, because it's less effort that way. You think doing something that immoral, it will be like a poison that you drink that will, for the rest of your life, slowly kill you. And you is society. I don't think society can survive that way. And that's the most important part, right? We're all, as a species, we all want to survive. It's about survival of the fittest, right? Well, I think that means to have just societies, because immoral societies rot. Zeke Yeager's requests are as follows. Accept him onto the island of Paradis for the remainder of the time he has left. Introduce him to the soldier who possesses the founding titan, his half-brother, Eren Yeager. In return, he will guarantee Paradis' safety. He will provide us with the latest technology, including weapons. He will act as a mediator between us and friendly nations, which he claims exists. And finally, he will provide support for intelligence activities targeting Marley. All this would be done to rescue the Eldian people whose existence is now threatened, and absolutely not. Who would ever agree to such a ridiculous offer? We're dealing with the Beast Titan here. He turned the people of Varakago into titans. He spread terror inside the walls. He's responsible for hunting the Survey Corps to near extinction, and now he's making requests? How shameless can he be? Their one and only goal is to retake the founding titan. If force doesn't work, they will use any other means at their disposal. Our enemies must realize that as well. Why don't we hear what their leader has to say? To continue, according to Zeke, there is still a secret plan that can be carried out that will solve all of the Eldian people's problems at once. But in order to carry out the secret plan, he needs the founding titan, and a titan with royal blood. The world can be saved if we have those two things. However, he can only reveal his secret plan after these conditions are met. I've heard enough. It seems like he truly thinks of us as fools. It's true. I remember now. The one time I was able to activate the powers of the founding titan was in the moment when I touched a titan with royal blood. That titan had the same face as someone in a photo my father left me. I'm certain that was Dina Fritz. By pure coincidence, I came in contact with Dina Fritz that day as she wandered the land as a pure Titan, and that saved my life. Zeke is Dina's son. He must have figured it out too. How to get around the vow renouncing all war. How to activate the one hope left to us Eldians. The way to use the thousands of Titans sleeping inside the walls to crush the world to dust. Eren, why did you keep quiet about that this whole time? Because I was concerned about Historia. I couldn't allow her to become a Titan based only on my own uncertain information. I didn't want that. I will admit that it was a thoughtless decision. We'll talk about that later. But if it's really true, then Zeke's secret plan makes sense. Are you insane? You're going to trust them? That's right. Who knows what'll happen if we let all those enemy soldiers onto the island? We ought to string them up and behead them. No, we can't do that. If we want to protect this island from Marley's survey boats, we need the volunteers to cooperate with us. If she doesn't contact them through her wireless communication, this is Survey Fleet 1, come in. Survey Fleet 2 here. Thank goodness, our boat ran aground. We've been waiting so long for help. We'll be right there. What's your position? Understood. That cove? Our numbers? Don't worry, we're heading there with 2 survey ships. Hey, are you okay? Everything will be fine. The Colossus Titan? How? The enemy! The ship's in danger! Hurry! Jump off! Welcome to our filthy island, home to defiled devils. We'll make you feel right at home, so long as you like pig piss. Feel free to turn me down. Of course, if you don't want to come ashore, you'll need to swim back home. It was fun back then. True. I guess it was like a very exciting. For so long, you've been with zero hope. You've been on the losing side. You barely scraped through with your lives and all the missions. And even when you did win, or like with the whole season 3, with the whole mission about and getting where the first time Levi, I forget what the mission was called, when Levi and the Beast Titan fought, that whole mission, even if they survived or succeeded in that mission, they did so just barely, and they lost so many lives, it didn't feel like they won. But now finally, I mean, it's good to be on the winning side. I think that's what he means with it was fun back then. True, as Eldians, we were feared and hated by the world, by people on the other side of the sea whose faces we didn't even know. But not all of those people across the ocean were our enemies. We'll start by making things this island needs most. This is called a port. Of course, a port. The kids will love that. It's not a toy. Is it going to have a mixed bath too? It's not a hot spring, you stupid perv. This thing is tasty, right? It's not something you eat. This must be a place where ships can safely lower anchor. I see. So we can use the captured ships to trade with people across the ocean. Exactly. This is a place that will connect you to the world. That's amazing, Onyankopon. Where will the kids play? Baths are important too. By the way, why is your skin so dark? Our creator had a thought. Wouldn't it be interesting if there were more kinds of people in the world? The same goes for the subjects of Ymir, who can turn into titans. All of us exist because someone meant for us to exist. Then who made us? The one who gave power to Ymir, the founder. In other words, a god. That's what some people think. We're all free to think as we like, no? The world was so complicated and full of unknowns. This is also what they meant with fun. Building things, learning new things, eating new food. Is this stuff edible? Is this your first time having seafood? Nicola is a master of Marleyan cooking. Damn it, why do I have to? You Eldians are free not to eat it. Why would I want any of you to... Hey, not fair, Sasha. Mr. Nicola, you're a genius. Learn some manners. I've never had something like this before. There's still some left. You don't need to rush. Oh, Sasha. Boom. The port will be done soon. Progress has been so fast since those Marlian military engineers decided to help. I'm surprised they agreed to. Sure, we were suspicious of each other at first, so we started off slowly. But once time passed and we started looking at each other as people, not labels. Oh, see what's possible? It is. If it's possible between 2 people, it's possible between 5. And if it's possible between 5, it's possible between 10, and so on and so on. The more people, the more difficult it gets, of course. But that doesn't make it impossible. And just because something is difficult and might take longer, doesn't mean we should go with what might work quicker, but also will murder everyone. I think we can understand one another. Armin, did you see anything in Berthold's memories? Oh, no, nothing that seemed useful. We don't have time. Zeke's only got 3 years left to live. Yeah, about that. Do you think it's okay for us to just go along with Yelena's plan like this? Is there a problem? I just wonder if the only way for us to protect the Eldian people really is to threaten the world with a rumbling. It would truly be like a nightmare. The whole world would have to live in fear. Can't we talk before things get that bad? We can speak to Marley and others around the world once the port is done. If we just resolved our misunderstandings. Yeah, there's another way to do this, but Aaron would rather murder everyone instead. No. To me, how they viewed the Tiber family was already proof that they could look at Eldians as beyond their history. And here it took them, I don't know, a couple of weeks, months. The thing is, between people of different countries, you need mutual benefit. People have so much issues in their own countries, infighting and whatnot. They don't, people, I mean, in the real world, don't really think about other countries and are there are, you know, you can hear about all the bad stuff that happens in that country or in that country, and you might like send some money. I don't know, America sends us a lot of money, but I don't know who facilitates that. And I don't know where that money goes, because it's definitely not going towards helping a lot of people. I think it hurts more. But anyway, because it just gives the politicians more money to steal. But anyway, what I was trying to say is just that the only way that you actually start getting along or becoming open to the, like, okay, oh, there's people there, okay, they're not just, you know, a vague image, oh, there must be people there. Once you start, like, they're collaborating here. They're giving them knowledge, they're giving them safety. That's how you start overcoming your own differences. But yeah, Aaron just didn't want to take that risk. But he still, like I said already, took another risk. His way is gonna, I swear to God, I highly believe that his way is going to lead to extinction of the human race. And I'm not talking about the people outside of the walls. I'm talking about everyone. Everyone, everyone, everyone. Imagine if you're this many people and you're responsible. Your side is responsible for literally genociding the whole world. And on the way out, on the way to do that, a third or a quarter of you, this is your side, and you know that your side is responsible for the genocide of the whole rest of the world. Okay, 1/3 was crushed on the way to do that. 1/3 shoots 1/3 and quarter. 1/4 is killed because of the crushing of the rumbling. The Jaegerist is another quarter, and they shoot everyone in the face that don't agree with them. Now you have 1/8 that join the Jaegerists just because they're scared of being shot in the face, and you have 1/8 that, okay, well, you think that kind of that quarter, the ones who are now not too scared to be shot in the face, and the ones who shot people in the face, you think they can recreate society amongst all the crushed bodies all over the world? What kind of diseases do you think will break out? Everyone will die. Everyone on your side, everyone on their side. It doesn't make sense. Do you think it's okay for us to just go along with Yelena's plans? It would truly be like a nightmare. The whole world would have to live in fear. Can't we talk before things get that bad? What I was saying with my whole little ramble was just that Aaron didn't want to take a risk of how much time it would take to negotiate with the world and come up, fix the misunderstandings and whatever. He didn't want to risk trying that. Oh, it might take too long, I don't have time. But yet he is willing to risk the new Black Plague, the millennial Black Plague. I don't know, but the Black Plague that could... Imagine all that death and destruction. How would it affect ecosystems and shit? It's not just people dying, it's animals. The world will not make it. The world will die. I mean, yeah, sure, eventually the earth itself might heal, but people would be dead. All the living ones, at least. They would die from being squashed or getting some kind of this horrible illness. Have you guys seen the kind of illnesses that broke out during that time? What was the Black Plague? What was the Black Plague? Bubonic plague is an infection spread mostly to humans by infected fleas that travel on rodents, called the Black Death. It killed millions of Europeans during the Middle Ages. Prevention does include the Black Death. I want to know, what kind of illness was the Black Plague? It killed... I want to know, what is it? Symptoms. Bubonic, septicemic, and pneumonic, depending on which part of your body. Bubonic is most common variety. It's named after the swollen lymph nodes, buboes, that typically develop in the first week after you become infected. Buboes may be situated in the groin, armpit, or neck, about the size of a chicken egg, and tender and firm to touch. Septicemic plague occurs when plague bacteria multiply in your bloodstream. Signs of symptoms include fever and chills, extreme weakness, and pneumonic plagues affect the lungs. Lymph nodes? What is a lymph node? like bumps. I thought it was like blisters, boils, or something. A bean-shaped structure that are part of the body immune system. Lymph nodes are filled with substances that travel through the lymphatic fluid, and they contain white blood cells that help. So it's named after the swollen lymph nodes that typically develop in the first week, as big as an egg, and then in your... You think that's bad? Imagine what the world would be like if everyone and everything died. Whole system, farmlands that were feeding thousands of people, gone. What would people eat? They would start to eat each other. What kind of diseases do you think would come from that? Did ever not think this through? Am I missing something? How would that not happen? Explain to me, how would that not happen after everything we saw? Even just within the walls, the people that were killed there and squashed, and then the people that were shot. Do you think the people left would have been able to clean all that and farm enough food for themselves to eat? Do you think they wouldn't have turned on each other? Do you think some people wouldn't have, after seeing what their decisions caused, do you think some of the Jaegerists wouldn't have regretted and gone crazy with guilt? I feel like people don't think very far, or I'm missing something huge. Like, why would that not happen? Explain to me. What do you mean by misunderstandings? You know, like people thinking we're scary. Don't let them meet Aaron, because they will just think that they were right. The world sees us as monsters that can turn into titans. Are they wrong about that? But you see the world as people who want to murder you. So you're monsters and they want to murder you. But you don't want to turn into monsters. So if they understand that, maybe they wouldn't be scared. That's what Armin is saying. Like, just because, like, let's say a blonde woman murders my father. Now I'm scared of blonde women. Because it's true, a blonde woman did murder my father, and the blonde woman could still murder me. But does that make it right for me to be scared of all blonde women? I mean, I could give a more realistic example. Just like I've said a million times before, the majority of violent crimes committed by men. Does that make sense for me to be scared of men when I'm walking alone down the dark alleyway? Sure, I guess you could say that I'm allowed to be scared because the statistics and it's fine. But does that make it right for me to shoot him and run? No. So like, it's just, what I'm saying is, it's not, you can't just say, well, we are monsters, so, but there's obviously more to it than that. Way more to it. But we've been able to get along with some Marlians. How many? Most of the soldiers who came here are still glaring at us from prison cells. Well, if we just spent more time, we need time. Yes, and to buy us that time, we've got to keep them from messing with us. I wonder if, just maybe, there was another, different path. There was. We don't know how that will work out, or would have worked out, but it couldn't have been worse than releasing the millennial Black Plague on the whole world and reducing it to, I swear to God, because that's another potentiality. Sure, maybe it wouldn't happen. Maybe Flush and his friends would have cleaned everything up, all the brains splattered on the sidewalks. They would have farmed the farmland. They would have been organized and fed everyone and cleaned everyone. And oh God, the doctors, maybe one or two survived. They could help people who did, maybe that would have been... I don't see that happening at all. Not with the level of destruction that happened. I feel like my sarcasm didn't come through there enough. But hey, it's a 1% chance might have happened, but maybe not. Maybe the whole world will die, including the audience. So what I'm saying is, there was a different path. We don't know how either path will turn out, but Eren forced them on this path. And now we have to find out if the mnemonic black millennial plague thing, I can't think of more words to make it just... I want to push the idea that it is going to engulf the whole world, because how can it not? With all those dead bodies. I keep on coming back to that. Yeah, you keep on coming back to that because that is the best thing to come back to. So, Sasha's dead. Today was the funeral for the 8 soldiers who died in the last operation, including Sasha. I thought I understood Eren better than anyone, even Mikasa, but I don't understand him anymore. Eren was ready to do it, even by himself, whether we helped him or not. The outcome would have been awful either way. Similar to Gabi, who was gonna go up in that airship and shoot as many people as she could. And she was willing to sacrifice herself. But now we've killed a huge number of people. Nothing was left untouched. Not battleships, not soldiers, not civilians. We showed up out of nowhere and took everything from them. Just like what happened to us that day. Then again, if that military port had been left intact, Marley would have launched an immediate counterattack on this island. Would they? I mean, would they? If you just stood there and like did this, you know that meme about this? You know that meme? If you stood there and just like, or screamed or something, even without that, they still believe in the rumbling being possible, right? So would they have really launched an immediate counterattack? But either way, if all the people, all those politicians and everyone was killed, the world would have banded together, and yeah, they might have pretty much... But how do you go up against a Colossus Titan, even with their anti-Titan weapons aren't perfect yet? Would they really risk immediately doing a counterattack, all emotional, like people died, let's go, we don't have a plan, we don't know how to take on a Colossus? I get it, if enough of them shoot. But also the resources are very important to them. And plus, the rest of the world believes they can do the rumbling, right? And wouldn't they just see this as a warning? I'm not saying any of this is true, I'm asking. I'm just curious, would they really have launched an immediate counterattack? We've abandoned any hope for peace, but we had to do it. You had to, or you had to. Is that because Eren forced you, or because are you saying Eren didn't have another choice? Just like the 3 of you that day, right, Annie? Please say something. So your report says you are victorious. Ignorance is a frightening thing. Huh? Your reports say you were victorious. I'm going to kill you. Send your corpse to Marley and reveal everything about your plot. It'll probably spell the end for your grandparents. But if the secret plan of yours is real, I wouldn't mind waiting a little longer before slicing you to pieces. I don't care either way. I'm oh so grateful for your generous words, but I think you need to let me meet Eren first. Okay? Think you could stop glaring at me? If we don't win, we die. If we win, we live. Will you though? Or will you choke to death on the exploding lymph nodes in your body? from the millennial Black Plague. From the Colossus Black Plague. Colossus. Because they caused it. The millennial Colossus Black Plague. If we don't fight, we can't win. Fight. Fight. Well, it is fucking... How did that take me an hour and a half by myself? Usually I read faster when I'm... That was a lot of talking. I feel like and we just finished chapter... Well, we're gonna start volume 27, so I think it'd be better to do that next time. But then I would have to do this. 106, 105, and 106. Then 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112. Huh? 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 This was 109. Where's 110? Where's... Oh wait, no, this was 111, 112. Was this 111, 112, 113, 114? Am I supposed to do 4 chapters here? That's not gonna work. I got 107, 108, 109. 110, 111, 112. I need more time. 113, 114, 115. 116, 117, 118. This is a 2-hour slot. But it takes me 2 hours to read 3 chapters. 118, 119, 119, 120, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130. Okay, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to skip Avatar here and just read like a fuckload of manga in a row. I'm gonna have to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm gonna have to just move things around. 119, 119, 20, 109. Okay, so there's 4 chapters, okay? Because it's a sponsored, I can do 1 extra. Then this is probably gonna move. This is probably gonna move here because 2 in a long one and then another one. Probably I'm gonna do the manga there anyway, and then games over here because I'm not gonna do 2 in a row. And Nier is probably not gonna be there anyway, so maybe we could do 2 chapters, or we could do Blue Lock there and I could do manga here. Let's just hope Nier doesn't come. I don't think Nier's gonna come back this month. So let's move Blue Lock up here, and then manga somewhere here. 2 Fansly videos. Oh my gosh, I know I'm seem like I'm really stressed out, but I'm not too stressed out, but I'm a little stressed out. So 132, 133, 124, 125, 126, 127. See, 126, 120. See, I only need to do 126 and 127 somewhere, because then I can do 128 to 130 here. That's fine. And like, I don't have to take this day off. So like, I can probably move some stuff around here. Like Vivi or the fancy thing or something I can do here, you know. So like, let's say I do Vivi on the win. I might move Vivi to the Sundays because One Piece is moving to Mondays. Yeah, see, I need to sort that out. But either way, I have a day here, so that's fine. I only need to do 127 and 128. 126 and 127. Attack on Titan manga 126 and 127. So that's fine. It's not an issue. All will be fine as long as we do those 4 there. We do those 4 there. Everything will be fine. What is this? Why? Oh, that's where I'm at with One Piece. So once I finish Attack on Titan, I will still have a manga slot on Thursdays, but it will be One Piece. I'm going to try and do at least 3 chapters or 4 so that I can catch up. But I'm going to try and do more, 3 or 4 chapters. One Piece at least is usually not as long as Attack on Titan. So I could squeeze 4 chapters into 2 hours. And then I will be caught up if I do weeks to catch up. Let's say One Piece, I have a 944 chapters left. Oh, I'm on chapter 944. I have there's 1073 left. I mean, oh my god, what is the latest chapter of One Piece? Can you guys follow my thought process? I don't know, sometimes I feel like I talk too fast. Oh, 1073 is the latest. Next chapter is coming in 4 days, it says. Okay, so 1073 is the so that means there's 129 chapters left. This sum is made by dividing by 3 chapters per video. But if I do 4 chapters per video, that means 32 weeks to catch up, which only means 8 months. 8 months. Not bad. Then I'm caught up to One Piece. And that's caught up to, you know, not just the anime, but to the most recent chapter of One Piece. That's exciting. Can't wait. I wonder what, I would like to know what chapter the anime is on right now. Like, what chapter did the last episode of One Piece adapt? Because then I could see in how many months. Wait, One Piece week fandom page, if I can check that. Fandom. Here. Media, anime, episode guide. Wano Country arc. The most recent one is a legend all over again. Luffy's first roars in the sky. No, it was this one. Trend Dragons. It was adapting chapter 1025 and 1026. So that would mean, I'm gonna delete Attack on Titan now because that doesn't matter. That would mean 1026 is the most recent chapter. So that means that one minus that one. That would mean 82 chapters before I catch up. That would mean 21 weeks before I catch up to where the anime is at, and only 5 months. So if I start in March, or let's say even April, that would be like August, I would catch up with the anime, and I'd start reading new content. And then I don't have to do 4 chapters no. I can do 2 chapters. Then I can slow it down, you know? So exciting. Okay. Thank you guys for spending time with me. And reading manga with me and listening to my crazy ramblings. Obviously, you don't have to agree with everything I say. I'm just, like, when I read the stuff, it makes me feel very worked up and passionate because, you know, the story is just that good. It involves you, it sucks you right in. But I can chat at these characters and wag my finger at them because I know that they're not real. If the situation were real, I would be handling it differently because you don't change anyone's mind by wagging a finger in their face. I'm just like reacting out of emotions, like immediate emotions as I'm reading the story because that's what I am. Literally, my title, my freaking job title is a reactor. So, you know, please don't let my immediate reactions make you angry or sad or something. And then, like, I don't want to fight. That's all I'm saying. Like, I want to fight with these characters. I want to, like, come on, Zeke. I don't want to fight any of you. Like, ugh. At the end of the day, it's not real. I'm just reading it, and it sucks me, and it's like it's real because that's what the story does. That's a good story. But, you know, we shouldn't make it personal. Just today, actually, I read a comment on there's a Mike who adds, I do time reactions for YouTube for One Piece, right? And Mike adds the screen for my patrons. But now I'm going to stop doing timer reactions. So Mike tested how he could do like a short. So I didn't ask him to test run it, but he wanted to practice. And so he chose like a hype moment that I didn't have a short of, which was like a Zoro moment. And he edited it and he uploaded, and I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Now I have a video to post. And then someone said something about how the episode is called 2 stars or 2 something because Sanji, basically Sanji, something about Sanji. And I'm like, wait, let me read. Before I put words in someone's mouth, let me read what they said. Sorry, I read a comment now and I didn't understand what they were saying. So the person said, in the manga and even in the official translation, it was the stars, meaning not just Zoro, but also Sanji. And I said, oh, was it different in the anime? I don't remember what the title of the episode was, but then I made a joke with like the little smirk emoji, like, And I said, oh, was it different in the anime? I don't remember what the name of the title was, but to me, Zoro always outshines everyone, like, smirk emoji. And they said, that's your opinion for sure. Most Zoro fans thinks that the show only belongs to Zoro, which is sad. And I said, why would how other people enjoy a show make you sad? Like, sorry, it just seems weird to me that someone else's thoughts on a show would make you feel that way. It was literally, and then they go on. I didn't see this reply. As you said, Zoro outshines everyone is literally not appreciating other characters, which, again, you do all you want. You're probably doing this just to piss off Sanji stans, but I'm surprised that a content creator such as yourself does that. Aren't you the one now who's showing you just want everyone to talk about Sanji? She can talk about what character she likes. This is from Hunter. And you can ignore it and not push your opinions like it's a fact in the show. Then they replied, it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean we sleep on Sanji, unlike a lot of toxic fans. There are toxic Sanji fans and toxic Zoro fans. I literally put a smirk emoji because I made a joke about Zoro and how much I am a fangirl of him. If you ever really listened to my One Piece videos, you would know for a very long time, Luffy is my favorite character. Not just from One Piece, but from all anime. You need to stop caring that some people are only hyped about Zoro. There are also people who are only hyped about Sanji. Who gives a fuck? Only you right now. Why was I bringing this up? Oh, just because people make a big deal out of nothing. And even though I understand, like, oh, I get all worked up about fictional characters, that's because the story draws me in. I'm a reactor. I'm meant to, like, give emotions and just be honest about them and just, like, let them flow. Don't let it affect you on a personal level, like this person here. That's what I'm saying. And then got, like, 4 laughing emojis. Overcompensating, dude. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, just all of that. And that I hope you enjoyed watching it with me, but don't let it affect you personally. But I bet if you let it affect you personally, you're not watching this part of the video. You've probably just heard one thing that pissed you off and then commented and not. You don't listen to the rest. And that's fine. You don't have to listen to everything. But if people are commenting things that are like so obviously taking fictional feelings personally, like as if I'm insulting their father or mother, I generally don't respond to those. But what I don't like, what pisses me off a lot, is when those people, they put words in my mouth and stuff, and then they're not. I've tried arguing with those kinds of people and correcting, like, oh, you said this, and then I'm like, no, I didn't. It's not worth it to argue with those people. So if they're gonna be lying about stuff that I said that I didn't say, and they're not willing to discuss, they show that they just wanna argue and scream. Well, those kinds of comments I generally just delete, because it's just not worth the time to argue with them and correct them. But also I hate leaving their comment there and then they're lying about what I'm saying, like they're misrepresenting my thoughts. Generally, 9 times out of 10, I would try and talk with them, but it becomes very clear within the first 2 or 3 responses, no, 1 or 2 responses, whether or not they're willing to discuss. And if they're not, I just, like I said, I delete their comments, and it doesn't happen often, but it's usually when they start insulting and stuff like that, which generally, that alone, your comment should get deleted if you're insulting someone. Like, what kind of discussion is that? And oftentimes people's like, my free speech. And I'm like, that's not what free speech is. Free speech isn't you coming into my house and writing on my walls stuff that you think I said and that like insults about me. You don't get to, that's not free speech. Free speech is going on Twitter and going on Reddit and making your own YouTube channel and saying whatever the fuck you want. And I can't stop that. But I get to decide what is written on my walls in my house. And whether or not I want to engage with such a person. Because sure, sometimes there are people who you're like, please come in. Please, let's have tea. Let's talk about this. But like I said, within the first response or 2, I can tell by now, after 4 years of trying to have these conversations to the point where I want to pull out my hair, where I've made like, you guys have seen my Attack on Titan content. It's not just reactions. It's reactions and separate reviews. I started doing separate reviews around season 4 because there was just too much. I would end up responding to the comments from the previous week's video as well because they come through in like big bunches, the same one. So I just addressed them all at once. So yeah, okay, but I might as well just read another chapter at this point with how much I'm talking. But thank you. I'm enjoying this so much, even if it is emotionally taxing. But that is the kind of book, story this is. It's emotionally taxing and it's meant to be. Not too much, but a little bit.